Hello everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Avernum 4. Last episode we cleared out the Myrtus Spiral and dealt with the undead, who it turns out were being sent by the Venati. And we know a bit more of their plans now. They're basically trying to get vengeance on us for stopping their vengeance. And the stuff they've already sent are basically meant just to keep us weak until they can fully bring their vengeance, which will likely end up being plagues just like on the surface. Which we did stop once before, but still, better to stop it now before it causes more problems again. Now, however, we still need to get to the Great Cave, but we're going to need to get through Elmaria. Camp Samuels is there, but before we do that, let's take a stop in the Tower Colony. We'll probably get some nice magic from that. Let's see. Myrtus North, Tower Colony, Great Cave South, Surface Portal, Southwest before Great Cave. The merchant caravan has several guards. They watch you carefully, eager for the chance to earn their pay. There is a small merchant caravan stopped by the side of the road. Looks like some of their wagons have been smashed and they are stuck for a while making repairs. The head trader, a small, nervous-looking man, approaches you. His skin is not entirely pale. He must have recently come from the surface. Welcome to this little camp. I'm Brosco. As you can see, we've had some troubles, and we're not above doing a little trading to finance our repairs. Let me see what you got. Nothing we need. Like to sell something? Not really, no. Did you get attacked? I'm afraid so. There are some ogres living to the southwest. Normally they are a sedate lot, but lately they have been, well... He waves at his wagons, damaged by thrown rocks and javelins. Alright, thank you. Hope that we're gone by the time you're back. Here's to hoping. Great, so... ogres. Fantastic. Well, here's the Tower Colony. We're gonna have to look around in here, see what we can see. 2 testing grounds. You were at the edge of the testing grounds. When the Tower of Magi was in operation, this was where new spells were brought to be tried out. The faint smell of sulfur still hangs in the air. Although the fields haven't been used in a while, much of the supplies still remain. Target dummies, cages for summoned monsters, and so on. Someday, when the tower is fully restored and magic research begins anew, this field will be full of flying fireballs, crazed familiars, and the screams of singed apprentices. It will be a proud day. I'm sure it will be. Ooh, there's actually a lower level to this place. I imagine there's probably a quest for that in the tower. The Tower Colony. For the first time, you enter the Tower Colony, the cluster of small stone domes and towers in the shadow of the ruined Tower of Magi. The Tower of Magi was not the largest building in Avernum. That honor belongs to the castle. But it was arguably the most significant. It was the core of Avernum's magic power and knowledge. All of the plants that make life in the underworld livable, the glowing fungus, the trees, the giant edible mushrooms, they were created here. The power that enabled your nation to fight off the Empire was built up here. Then the tower was destroyed. All Avernites know the story of Linda, the mad wizardess of the Triad, who summoned a demon and lost control of it. The magical storm this act unleashed could have destroyed much of Avernum. The summoned demon was, fortunately, defeated by a small band of adventurers. Since then, the Avernites have been dismantling the tower, scavenging magical books and equipment to form a new, more secure magical colony. Casual visitors are not welcome to the colony. You, on the other hand, are instantly and eagerly greeted by the guards at the gate. Someone has given them your description. You are told that Mage Kellner would like to see you. This is one of the few human guards in the Tower Colony. Most of their job is keeping curious visitors out. Any real threats are dealt with by the wizards and their minions. You, however, are welcome to explore the colony. The guard tells you that if you want to know anything, you should see Kellner. He's in the northeastern tower. Once again, you meet Oliver, the traveling merchant. He is pleased to see you, but not surprised.
Hello again, friend. It is good to see a familiar face, one not lost in the exploration of secrets we were not meant to learn. My mission in these ruins has met with success. I have new items in stock, excellent quality goods, and such reasonable prices. Take advantage quickly before I move on.
Let me see what you have. Sure, buy those 2. I mean, we got so much coin. Blade shield chain. +1 armor, +1 to riposte. Interesting. How do you like the Tower of Magi?
Oh, it is an unhappy place, hostile and paranoid. Although I have had a very productive time restocking my wares, I have been eager to buy items of value.
You've been buying things?
When I can. The workers aren't supposed to turn in anything of value that they find to the wizards, but they are not well paid and they have families to feed, and Oliver can pay them the money they need to get by. For trinkets, of course.
People here aren't friendly?
Bah, wizards, what an unfriendly lot. If I had such powers, I would not create a morbid place like this. No, I would create a wonderful settlement with fine drinks. And ladies. Magic ladies. Instead, it is all cranky old men with their noses in the air. I am eager to move on.
Would you like to see the artifacts I found?
Nothing we need to sell.
I'm going to put that into place. Oliver stands unobtrusively nearby, ready to pounce in an instant if you show even the slightest indication of wanting to buy something. His pack of goods and supplies litter the stone around his feet. Where are you going next?
Hopefully to the Great Cave. I want to get to Darman. I have a shipment of very high-quality items waiting there for me. First, though, I need to know how to enter the Great Cave.
Is that difficult?
Very much so. As you may have heard, the city of Almaria has grown mad, paranoid, the influence of a shade, no doubt, and I'm not enough of an adventurer to figure out a way through, and Almaria controls what is currently the only route west. But I am sure you have predicted what is coming. If you can tell me how to get through Almaria, I will pay. A nice trinket recovered from the dusty ruins of this unhappy tower.
Well, we're going to need to get through there, so if we see a way, we'll let you know. Oh, this must be the ruins of the tower. The colony has brought in a number of workers, human and slith, to tear down the old tower and build new structures. They are ordinary people without magical skills. They are, understandably, extremely nervous. The tower ruins have quite a reputation. They also make it very clear that they want to keep to themselves. This room, part of the original Tower of Magi, was a classroom. It has been cleaned up and is currently in use to train students. No doubt when the tower is fully dismantled, new facilities will be built. Well, at least that one's been cleared up. That one's also being used. God only knows what kind of things are going to be in the ruins here. There's an upper level. Nothing in there, nothing over there. Oh, goody. Rat. Ow! What kind of rat is that, anyway? It is a brain rat. No, don't wait. Stab it. Ow! Please stop that. Thank you. Okay. Figured there'd be a rat in here. Oh, there's a person in here. The Tower of Magi was the home of one of the two largest magical libraries in Avernum. Only the repository of scrolls and tomes in Patrick's Tower in the Great Cave could rival it. However, most of the books were destroyed along with the tower. This woman is in charge of preparing and sorting the works that survived. She is not enjoying the work. She has a healthy complexion, which indicates that she only recently came from the surface. She is very nervous, and the bags under her eyes suggest that she hasn't been sleeping much. She shakes her hand nervously. I am Mariah, the librarian here. Welcome to you. I'm afraid the collection is not yet ready for sustained analysis. You are restoring the tower's collection? Yes, I am. It is a difficult job. The workers dig scrolls and books out of the rubble, ruining them in the process. They bring them to me, and I try to restore and sort them. Some progress is being made in the midst of such futility. Do you have any books that might interest me? If only you were the first passing warrior to ask me that. No, few intact spellbooks have been recovered, and none of those had any spells that might aid you in battle. Can't replacement books be brought from the surface? No, the Empire strongly restricts who is allowed to study magic, and the books are even more restricted. That is why I was brought here, to recover whatever could be found. Mariah stands very close to you as you speak. She seems happy to have someone here who is armed. She makes lots of light conversation, trying to get you to stay as long as possible. Where are you from? I was brought down from the surface to do this work. It was decided that only an experienced librarian was up to this task. How do you like Avernum? It is horrible. I don't know how you can stand to live down here. It's so dark and moldy, so moldy. I always feel the walls closing in on me. I suppose everyone feels this way for a while. How did you get down here? Through the portal.
It's between here and the Great Cave. It is how everyone and everything travels from the surface to Avernum and back. Something's gonna happen to it eventually. You seem very nervous. Of course, because of the presence. Can't you feel it? It is... I'm sorry, you should go talk to Kellner. You may not believe me, but he does. A sage named Lark is trying to decipher this language. Can you help? Mariah takes the scroll and inspects it closely. Then she hands it back to you, shaking her head. I've seen a lot of books in all sorts of languages, probably every script on the surface and many from the underworld, but I've never seen this script. You should look in a real library, not a ruined one. I hear that the only decent magical library left in Avernum is in Patrick's Tower. At least that is what I hear. I've never been there, of course. It's in the Great Cave. Yes, they might be able to identify the script. Patrick's Tower. Okay, so the quest we got in Fort Monastery. Go to Formello. Nope. No. Was it Fort Draco? No. Formello? No. Somewhere in here, I think? No. Tower Colony? No. Patrick's Tower. Here's to hoping. Okay. Yeah, that's ruins. We'll look in there later. That goes up. Let's see. Oh, a terror wand we can sell. Let's see. X's office. Ah, X. Oh, hello. And a bunch of experimental rats. Right. A bit of healing, please. And you can cast this. Oh, I didn't realize there were 3 of those. Oh, good. It's terrified. Just what we wanted. It looks like we can't visit X. No, without using a, Oh. X isn't here. He has a... But there's a book left behind. Interesting. Alright, hello. There's a small dining hall set up for visitors to the tower. There's currently only one person here. A small, pale, busy woman sitting at a table covered with papers. Notes, ledgers, and singed records from the tower ruins. When you approach, she is glad for a break from the work. She shakes your hand and says, I am Misha, envoy from the castle. Good to see you. Hope your journey to the Great Cave goes well, and that I can assist you with it. You are the castle envoy? Yes, the castle has stationed me here to keep an eye on the tower. While King Staris is eager to see Avernum's magical community working at full efficiency, he was determined that they should only function under careful supervision. I can understand. You can assist me with my journey to the Great Cave? I can. Not with materials or my aid in battle, of course, but with information. As I am sure you are aware, the larger cities of Avernum have been invaded by shades. Large, powerful creatures. Almaria, the city that is the gateway to the Great Cave, has been so infected. Have you had any success in defeating the shades? No, not yet, not a bit. There are 2 shades in the cities of the Great Cave, and the Crown has taken steps to defeat them. Casualties have been high. Success has been non-existent. And what do I need to know about Almaria? That they will bar their gates to you, if you are lucky, and hang you if you are not. The minds of the townsfolk have been adversely affected, you see, perhaps more so than normal because their shade never leaves. So what do you recommend? There's an old, mostly forgotten fort northeast of Almaria. It's called Camp Samuels. I recommend making it your base of operations as you try to find a way through Almaria. Perhaps someone there can help you find a way through. I will, thank you. What are those... Misha sits at the table and silently shuffles through the papers. She clearly looks like she would enjoy burning the whole lot. What are those papers? They are my effort to understand the workings of this community, both in the past and now, so that I can make proper recommendations regarding its administration. And then, of course, to have the wizards ignore my works and regard me with contempt, as they attempt to find the most efficient way to blow up this entire region. As you say. By the way, I have found several letters with some bandits, with several sets of bandits. It had a strange symbol on it. Yes, and they are assaulting you? I am not surprised. I know little of this group. They are called the Dark Side Loyalists. The castle was only starting to learn of them when I left, and surely the castle can tell you more. Have you ever heard of someone called Doricus? No, but that sounds very intriguing. Unfortunately, outside the current scope of my responsibilities. Understood. Thank you anyway. A couple coins.
can take those. Who's in here? Go away, please. Workers' quarters. Yeah, I don't have... Not gonna get anything from that. Let's see. Colony alchemy. Potions made to order. Same day turnaround. Let's see here. The alchemist of the Tower Colony is a very busy woman. The sweat runs down her face, mixing with the dust and bits of splattered concoctions. She looks exhausted. Oh, well then. Looks like I have more work to do. What do you need? Out with it. My apologies. I'm Kimmer, and this is my workshop. I can help you when you have need. It's just that my assistants are very late getting here. There is something I want to know about the tower. She frowns. You flinch, waiting for another angry outburst. Go talk to Kellner. He deals with all of that, and I'm sure he wants to talk to you. She waves roughly to the northeast. Kellner's tower is up that way. Why haven't your assistants gotten here? Well, from what I hear, they can't get through Amaria. The city has become infested by a shade, and everyone is paranoid and won't let any people through. It's a real problem for anyone trying to get out of the Great Cave. Or in. Do you have any potions for sale? Yeah, nothing we need. Can you do any custom work for me? I knew it. I knew it would come to that, but yes. Kellner said that if you came by, you were to be assisted. So I have no choice. She points at a thick book on her pedestal by the west wall. I've made notes of what I can make and what I will need. Please consult that before wasting too much of my time. Healing elixir, curing elixir, energy elixir, hasting elixir, fiery wand, and terror wand. Can actually make wands. Interesting. Well, we're here. I suppose we should take a look. We should go speak with Kellner. Administrator Kellner. Okay then. Kellner is quite pleased to hear of the destruction of the Cerberus worm. Good, one less thing to do. He has a necklace brought to you as a reward. It's fair payment for dangerous work. Blade shield chain. That's actually something we could use. We got Tinker's Bauble, that's definitely going to stay there. Crystal symbol, and... Okay, so this is going to be sold. One of the mages who lead the tower colony is sitting in this small cozy tower. He rocks in the chair by a low fire, enjoying the warmth. He's starting to get old, but he has the eyes of a man far older. He smiles and motions you to sit with a wave of his hand. Ah, the adventurer. Gossip of your progress has been spreading up and down eastern Avernum. The one who has contacted the Venati, they say. Here, have some tea. I am Kellner, formerly of the Triad. I supervise the destruction of the old tower and the creation of this new colony. I am pleased that you have dropped by to see me. He smiles weakly. You notice that his eyes constantly watch the shadows. Can you tell me about the history of the tower? Of course, I would be pleased to. After all, I have spent most of my life here. I have been present for most of the troubles. The tower has been here in some form for most of the history of Avernum. It was founded by several wizards who were cast down here by the Empire. They were on the wrong side of a political struggle, you see. And so they made this place. They thought that it would be necessary to guarantee the survival of the prisoners of Avernum. And they were right, of course. And the tower was ruled wisely, more or less, by the Triad until its destruction. Who were the wizards that built the tower? Well, there was Solberg, who is mostly retired. I think he lives in the Great Cave now. And X, who is here in the colony. I'm not sure he has the capacity to die. And Patrick, long gone. Poor fellow. And Mad Erica, of course, killed on the surface by the Venati Rentar, you know. Who was Erica? Probably the most powerful incantatrix among us, but blinded by rage at the Empire for daring to cast her down here. It was she who recruited the adventurers who assassinated Emperor Hawthorne, triggering the Empire War. She died in the end fighting the Venati who were devastating the surface world. Her actions helped the Avernites at last return to the surface. Indeed. Tell me about the Triad. The Triad were the three powerful wizards who controlled the tower. For a brief time I was a member around the time of the tower's destruction. The Triad is no more. The Crown decided that after the disaster they needed to have closer control over the activities here. And I have to say I agree with them. How was the tower destroyed? He looks pained. It is a sad tale and one I do not wish to discuss. You see, I suspected what was happening. I tried to stop it. I failed. Suffice it to say that Linda of the Triad summoned something she shouldn't have.
She failed to control it, and the ruins around you are the result. We will rebuild. We will make a stronger, safer, saner place.
Okay, then. How is the work... Kellner rocks in his chair and tries to smile calmly. Yet he is disturbed. He flinches at the slightest loud noise from the construction outside, and he constantly watches the shadows of the tower. How is the work progressing?
Well, as you can see, most of the old tower has been disassembled. We are constructing new buildings. We have finally begun to train new students, and the botany laboratory is functioning. However, we have run into a number of unexpected difficulties, political and magical.
Can you give me magical training? Hey, he can! All spells we already know. You study botany here?
But of course, all the plants around you that make life in Avernum possible and occasionally pleasant, they were either created or improved here with a combination of specimens from the surface and carefully applied magic.
What are the political difficulties?
The Crown wishes considerable control over the activities here, but wizards are notoriously independent. There are lots of arguments, all of them with me in the center, alas.
What are the magical difficulties?
Well, after the demons infesting the tower were defeated, their portal was destroyed and everything else exploded. We thought that there was not much harmful magic remaining. We were wrong. Recently, we dug out some of the back passages and we found that they were not caved in. Worse, we found that they were occupied. There's something back there, something powerful, magical, and malevolent. We have been instructed to find some adventurers to go in there and remove the infestation before work on the tower can progress. And yet we have had no luck.
Why do you have to get adventurers?
Because the Crown refuses to allow any powerful wizards unescorted into the tower. Because they fear a repeat of earlier unpleasant events.
What is in there?
Divination spells have indicated that it is unsurprisingly demonic in nature. More than that we do not know, but it is on the second floor in the southwest quadrant.
Is there any reward?
I am not surprised by the question, and I do have something that adventurers are frequently interested in. Wizards are generally very reluctant to share the secrets of destroying magical barriers. And why shouldn't they be? If everyone were able to disrupt them, they would no longer be useful. But if you aid me, I will teach you how to remove those barriers yourself.
Okay, I will help you.
I am most pleased. You can find the ruins of the tower to the southwest. There are stairways up to the ruins. I hope that a sufficiently focused display of violence will be enough to eliminate anything up there. Oh, and you may need this.
He removes a key from his pouch and hands it to you.
This is one of the few remaining tower keys. It may help you access some of the inner chambers.
Thank you, greatly. You seem ill at ease.
Yes, all of us are. It seems that our excavations have activated some dormant malevolent magic. We are looking for ways to solve the problem now.
I have received this shard from the Venati. Can you tell me anything about it?
Ah, yes, the shard. Still very secret, of course, but I have been privy to knowledge of it.
Kellner gently takes it, examines it, and holds it to his ear. After several minutes, he returns it to you.
Unmistakably Venati work. Very interesting and beyond my capabilities. The castle is where it needs to go, and I think as soon as possible.
Do you know what the whispers are saying?
No, but they are not in any language I know, and I have some familiarity with the Venati tongue. No, I am sure the crystal will say what it needs to say when it is around the correct person.
Okay, then. Why would the Venati contact us?
An excellent question. Perhaps they want to help us solve the problems that have afflicted us, or perhaps they are the cause.
Or, as we have seen, both. Is there anything you can tell me about the Venati?
Only the thing all Avenites should never forget, that one of the most powerful wizards of the kind rent our Earnos swore vengeance upon us, because we interfered with the destruction of the surface world. Avernum being afflicted with monsters and contacted by the Venati at the same time, too much of a coincidence, I think.
Agreed. By the way, I did a service for Maxfield and Myrtis. Can I have a reward? You tell Kellner how you have helped Maxfield get his experimental plants under control.
Ah, I am pleased. Adventurers are most useful when magical creations get, over-enthusiastic. Let me get you a token of gratitude, recently pulled from the ruins.
Kellner has a broad leather belt brought to you.
This should help you evade the ill intentions of other magical beasts.
Thank you very much. Girdle of Avoidance, plus 2 to Dexterity. Very nice. That'll be better than the Girdle of Nimbleness. Excellent. Let's take a look at your quarters here, if we can. Locked. This one is not. And this one has Focusing Crystal, Mandrake Root, Madness Scroll. Okay then. Nice. Alright, a little more exploring we can do. Apprentices' quarters. No taunting, please. No taunting, please? This is one of the colony's apprentices, a student undergoing the years of trials and difficulties required to join the ranks of the magically adept. Students of magic spend most of their time under an oath of silence. This student is unable to speak with you. Fair enough. I guess that I understand what they mean by no taunting, please. Ah, there's the job board. In the volcanic regions between the Tower Colony and the Great Cave, it is possible to find glowing red stones containing noticeable deposits of natural magic. Kimmer, the colony alchemist, requires some of these stones, but she does not have the time to fetch them. The first adventurer who brings Sir 6 of them will be rewarded with potions. You knew we were going to have to do a third one. Mariah, the Tower Colony librarian, needs any old research notes that can be found in the Tower ruins. It is only in this way that Avernum's magical research can resume at full speed. If someone can bring 4 useful pieces of research to her, then, as a good example, that person will be rewarded with some more immediately useful Tower scholarship. Ooh! There is a letter tacked to the job board. It is addressed to Commander Krizsan of Camp Samuels. Camp Samuels is in the eastern part of the Great Cave. Commander Krizsan? As in Krizsan Province? He was named after a province. Parents name their kids weird things. The ogres around the Tower Colony have abandoned their previous good behavior. Some adventurer needs to teach them to behave in a more appropriate way using the only method ogres understand. Kellner in the Tower Colony will give a suitable reward to the adventurer who can find and kill Chieftain Ugluk and Mage Hiroki. These ogres are probably in the tunnels north and west of the colony. Should be easy enough to do. Let's see. X. Ah, here's X. You enter the Tower of X, one of Avernum's oldest, most powerful, and frankly most eccentric wizards. He is currently casting a spell on a pile of bones which are resting on a ruined platform in the middle of the chamber. As you watch, fascinated, a shade slowly rises up from the bones. X opens his mouth, seemingly about to give the shade a command. But then one of the candles surrounding the platform goes out. The shade makes a long, horrible hissing sound.
Beware, beware!
Oh dear. Great. Okay. Fortunately, we have someone who will be able to do something about the shade. Doesn't look too strong, so we should be fine. Though X seems a bit terrified at the moment. Maybe not terrified. I don't know. Oh, he hasted all of us. There we go. Okay, that's an apprentice. Doesn't care about that. X takes the femur and looks at it closely. Then he smells it, and then touches it to his tongue.
Excellent. Not fresh at all.
He pulls a few scrolls out of his pocket, hands them to you, and gets back to work. You meet X the Enchanter, one of Avernum's most famed, mysterious figures. Impossibly old, extremely powerful, highly eccentric, probably mad. He looks like a bundle of bones, held together by a thin layer of skin and a heavy web of magic. His eyes are bright and distant. A tiny bit of his mind is concentrating on you. The rest is wandering realms unimaginable.
Yes, yes, you are here. Wanting, always the wanting. Ask your queries.
How long have you been in Avernum?
All of it. All the years, since the Empire cast me down. And the others, they are gone. But X remains. X will always remain.
What do you do in the tower?
Many, many things. More than before, since I shed the inconvenient need to sleep. I study the arts of war, of botany, and of casting things afar and bringing them home.
The arts of war?
Long have I sought what would be my greatest achievement. A spell to summon an anvil and deposit it on the head of my foe from a height. It torments me still, but I will prevail.
Have you been working on this spell for a long time?
A very, very long time, since well before the Empire War, and yet no success. From a magicalist perspective, anvils are tricky objects,
but they have a certain purity that appeals to me.
Interesting that he's still working on that. X stares at a point somewhere behind your head and chuckles.
Are you important, or just destined to be bones on a forgotten road? Ask your questions, then go discover the answer.
What do you do in... Oh, you study botany?
Yes, I create plants. New wonderful plants, twisted, soaring products of my power. Lately, I am refining the glowing fungus that enlightens Avernum to develop a new variety that does not so much crumble away the stone it is on. A good thing for stability, yes.
Casting things afar?
Teleportation, the great magical gift. The surface portal is west of here. It is not working now, but it will soon. And of course the pylons. If you have not experienced this gift, you should go north to Fort Avernum with all speed.
Can you give me any training?
Of course, of course. But I do not train every wanderer, only advanced, valued, surviving students, and those who prove their skill. Will you prove yourself to me? Will you assist me?
I will.
Then aid me in an experiment. I need to test a new altered variety of lizard, both calm and fierce, trained to be a loyal guardian like a little puppy dog.
Something about this seems very unlikely.
You must take an egg to the testing grounds to the north. Stand on the central platform, set down the egg, and watch the performance of what emerges for an appropriate amount of time. I am very eager to see how my scaly little friend performs.
He goes to a cabinet, pulls out something wrapped in burlap, and hands it to you.
Careful, careful.
You peek inside. It is an egg. That'll probably end with combat. Okay. This is his little tower. Locked, can't be picked. Locked, can't be picked. Locked, can't be picked. And he has a couple anvils here. Yeah, he's still working on it. I don't think there's really much more to this place, most likely. Huh. Isn't there supposed to be a pylon for this place? Ah, there it is. Touch. Okay, there we go. And this episode has gone on long enough. Next episode, we'll take a look in these paths around the outside, deal with the quest we were given, and I think we'll also solve the problem up in the tower. Probably start with the problem up in the tower, because I want that spell. That'll be in the next episode. So until then, I'm Chesso44, that is Nova, Liren, John, and Pyrrha. This has been an Avernum 4 Let's Play, and I shall see you all next time.